My first big 2026 project is fixing this mess. This is my network equipment, and it sits in my wife's closet where the network cables had to be run, and it just looks pathetic. There's cables and wall plates hanging off the sheetrock, and there's wires everywhere, and it takes up way more space than it should. Plus, you can't really move anything without something else falling off the closet shelf. The first step is cleaning up the wires that are coming out of the wall. So I'm replacing the wall plates with a single 24-jack 4-gang setup that'll leave me some extra slots for future use. It came with a bunch of keystone jacks that I'll use for the rack itself later on. I found a great 19-inch 12-slot equipment rack. It's not only just 12 inches deep, so it won't hang over the closet shelf, but it also has a double-sided swinging front door so I can get to the equipment in the back. I wanted everything to be really polished, so I got a piece of birch-covered plywood to use as the backing board. To have it match the rack, I painted it with this textured black spray paint. I love this stuff because it has an almost powder coat-like feel to it, and it looks exactly like the metal on the rack itself. I used 8 wood screws to fasten the backing board to the studs, and then I used lag screws to attach the rack to the board itself. Plus, the lag screws on the left also went into a stud for extra safety. The rack is also resting on the closet shelf for extra support. I found a nice sturdy shelf that I'm going to put up top to hold my Synology RAID array, as well as a couple of Raspberry Pis. I found that turning the disk station sideways not only looks better because of the logo on the side, but the fans from the back actually blow on the Raspberry Pis for extra ventilation. My favorite part of this project was getting the 3D printed brackets to hold the router, the Omada controller, and the 2.5 gigabit switch. I found these on Etsy from a seller named Stags MFG. I'm putting a link below because this guy's stuff was absolutely top-notch. It fit everything perfectly and really added a great finishing touch to the overall appearance. 3D printed stuff can sometimes have a bit of residue or splotching from the printing process, so I gave mine a coat of that same black textured spray paint I used on the backing board. The 3D printed brackets are shipped in sections that have to be joined together. I mounted them right underneath the shelf where the disk station goes. Because these are specifically created to hold these particular pieces of network equipment, everything fit like a glove, nice and tight with no gaps. I used the leftover keystone jacks from the wall plate to fill the slots in the 3D printed brackets. I got a 24-port patch panel to serve as a junction between the equipment. In order to keep things super clean, I wanted to run all the wires from the wall into the backside of the rack and only have short crossover cables in the front to keep things nice and tight. To easily toggle the equipment off and on, I got a power center with individual switches. I purchased these pigtails for the backside since most server equipment usually comes with these power adapters that take up way too much space around the outlets, and so these will let me use every port on the block. I installed it at the bottom for easy access. I got Cat 8 cables of various lengths, including half-foot as well as 1, 2, and 3-foot lengths to run on the front and the back. It won't really improve the performance much as most of the wiring outside the closet is Cat 6, but the cost increase was minimal, and I figure I should future-proof this setup whenever possible. To mount the equipment, I used the brackets that TP-Link included with the switch. These allow the equipment to fill up the full 19-inch slot space. For a few extra bucks, I got some blanks to fill the holes in the setup to maintain that super clean look. You can see how much nicer it looks to not have gaps between the equipment. To finish this whole thing off, I got some laser printed cable labels. These really help in figuring out what you're looking at and give it a nice functional and clean appearance. I use them on the front, the back, and even the wires that are coming from the wall, as well as on the inside of the wall where the keystone jacks are, so there's no confusion about where everything goes. And here it is, the finished product. Nice and orderly, clean and usable. I can see every status light, easily find all the plugs in the equipment, and there's no more wires hanging down, and the wall is totally cleaned up. And best of all, I can pop it open and swing it out to get to the equipment. Nice.